Well, I just want to follow on a little bit on Senator Grassley's question, but it's more kind of a request. I think sometimes when you look at land prices and land values, the question that I've been asking is what percentage of agricultural property is actually owned by the producer, whether it's a cattle producer, whether it's a commodity producer. And we've been trying to get a number in North Dakota. We think it's only about 25%. Now, some of that land could be family-held land where you're farming grandpa's homestead or family land. But I think that the distance of land ownership from agriculture has had an impact on whether people are willing to look at farm adjustments. I think if you own an apartment building in New York, you don't expect the prices, rent to go down. But if you own farmland, you know that farmland has to fluctuate with commodity prices. And, understanding supply and demand, you still have supply, demand for the land out there. Eventually, that's going to reach some kind of equilibrium. But I think it is a complicating factor from when I was growing up in my small town of 90 people, watching, the adjustments. I think it's been a major change. I want to just point out, none of you have painted a particularly optimistic view of what's going to happen with farm income in the next, certainly short term and maybe even long term as we move into maybe a sustained lower commodity price environment. Does anyone on this panel want to offer defense of the budget that the president just released, saying that's going to really encourage increases in farm income and actually meet the challenges that we see going forward? Nope, I didn't think so. Obviously, one of the things that we are failing is to get people to appreciate and understand that food security is national security, that we have challenging times, and this is the last thing we want to do, which is pull the string on crop insurance that is going to unravel our opportunities to basically continue to produce the highest quality, lowest cost food in the country. And so I'm particularly concerned about the average age of farmers and about what we can do going forward. And I guess this is for Mr. Johansson and Mr. Kaufman. As you look at the aging of farmers, which could lead to consolidation, which could lead to, I think, an outcome that none of us would want, can you tell me what additional programs you could recommend for beginning farmers that would help them through this patch and encourage them to actually come forward or stay in the farm business?
Well, certainly we're seeing, based on the most recent survey that NASS put out called the Total Survey, some better information coming out regarding transition in farming in terms of types of land that's owned and how that land is turning over to the younger generation. We had 2014 Farm Bill provisions that provided some assistance to new and beginning farmers in securing crop insurance, also securing some additional loan availability for new farmers. In terms of new programs that might also target that transition, I would suspect that those types of provisions would still be very useful to producers as they get into farming or as they take over operations from their parents.
Mr. Kaufman.
The first thing I'll mention from the credit side is just the demand for FSA guarantees that's out there right now. That's been pretty strong the last couple of years, and so that's one of the tools that would be in the toolbox for young and beginning farmers.
But we have to convince them that they aren't mortgaging their future. Offering them more credit may not be the sole solution here. They need to be offered more income.
Sure. So the other area that I would go to then is from an education perspective. Some of the areas that our lenders have recognized specifically would be in the areas of marketing and finances and also in risk management. More and more lately, the past couple of years, lenders have required more well-defined risk management practices as part of their lending operation on a regular basis. So those things, I think, providing some assistance could be useful.
Yeah, I think Mr. Weber, Dr. Weber wanted to comment.
Yeah, the thing that I would think is important to recognize is that particularly small farmers and beginning farmers get a lot of their income from off the farm, and the healthy rural community is maybe the best way of protecting incoming and beginning farmers because of the stability that it provides.